Okay, so now we're going to get into Jeannie Mai. Now, child, for those who don't know, Jeannie Mai is a host on The Real, and she was married to a black man named Jeezy, and they recently got a divorce. And she's been all over the internet, all over the interviews, just talking about this damn divorce. And child, it's a whole mess. So according to insiders, they say that the divorce came about because both had different views and they both felt like their needs weren't being met. And you know, I could guess why they did not have the same views. Let me show y'all a clip of Jeannie Mai on The Real, okay? And she's over here talking about, you know, her choices of men and what she likes in men. And this was around the time where she was married to a white man, okay? And she was basically talking about how she likes white men, but she likes dark black men on the side. So, yeah. And she referred to black men as meat, as if she doesn't even see black men as human, okay? She referred to them as a piece of food. Like, y'all are not even human. Yeah, that's your preference, y'all. That's your preference that y'all talk so greatly about, black men. That's the preference that y'all talk so greatly about. They call you food. They don't even treat y'all like you're human. They treat y'all like you're a piece of meat. Okay? But let's take a look at this next clip, okay?
I did. But for me, dark meat on the side, white keeps me mean and lean. No, that's why I married white man. That's what I like.
Hold up. What do you mean, dark meat on the side? Because she lightweight offensive. I am
I'm not. I'm saying, like, I really do think black men are attractive. I do. Like, that's my...
Well, what do you mean, dark meat on the side?
That means, honey.
You know what that means.
Wait, what are you reading it as?
I know. How did you say it?
I'm just saying, like, when I think about men, I like dark men. I do.
You like your main man to be white and your side
piece to be dark. That is not what I mean.
Jeannie, explain what you mean.
Okay,
what
I meant is, like, I used to date black men. Okay, and I think they're attractive. But what I decided to stick to, because it just kept me happiest, was my man Freddie, who happens to be white.
Girl, we don't care what you mean. We know exactly what you meant. And shout out to Tamar Braxton. I always love Tamar, even though recently she pissed me off with the Erica Mena comments. But I always love Tamar because she always kept it real. And the fact that they even fired her off of the show was crazy because she was literally the highlight of the show. Like, I'm sorry. Nobody really cared about the rest of these bitches but her. So anyways, but yeah. So she said white keeps me lean and she like her dark meat on the side. Which means she likes her main man to be white and she likes her side piece to be a black man. Are y'all surprised? Because I'm not. I'm not. This is what a lot of the preferences do. And this is how a lot of the preferences view black men. Let me tell y'all something. A lot of these non-black preferences who date black men, I promise you black men was not their first choice. They dated black men because they realized the men in their own community did not want them. So black men was their second choice because they knew black men would accept them regardless of their flaws, just because they're not a black person. I promise you. The men in their own community see their flaws and they be like, we don't want her. Black men, y'all can have her. We don't want her. And then they pass those non-black women on to black men. And then black men get hype and they're like, oh my gosh, like I got me a non-black woman. They feel like it's a badge of honor. Whole time, baby, you were a second choice. Whole time, they see you as a piece of meat. They don't even see you as a human. They like black dick. They don't like black people. Don't get it twisted. And y'all get embarrassed every single time. So y'all will sit up here and talk bad about black women and talk shit on us. Whole time, that non-black woman that you're dating, at one point, honey, you were being talked about like you weren't even human. You were being talked about like you were a side piece of meat. And y'all think I'm lying? Y'all know who Kim Kardashian is, right? One of the most known preferences in the black community, right? Black men love her, right? But let me tell you something. White men don't. Not too long ago, Tom Brady's friend was advising him not to date the Kardashians. He was literally like, no, bro. We don't do the Kardashians. Like, we could fuck them, but we don't do the Kardashians. We don't do them. And you want to know why? Because the men in their community do not like them. That's why they date black men. That's why all the Kardashians only date black men. Most of the time. 99% of the time, they only date black men because those are the only men that will accept them. The men in their own community see their flaws and will not take it and will not accept that. But they know black men will accept them with their flaws just because they're not a black woman. But if they had a choice, they would choose their own men over black men. But because their own men don't want them, they're going to go where they're fully welcomed. And unfortunately, black men fully welcome non-black women into their dating pool. Because they only care that they're non-black most of the time. They don't care what flaws you come with. They don't care if you're a bum. They don't care if you're a gold digger. As long as you're not a black woman, they'll date you. That's what happens with a lot of these self-hating black men out here. So they go where they're welcomed, but it's not always where they originally wanted to be. Okay? And let me tell you something else. These non-black women who date black men, they don't value y'all all the time. I'm going to play y'all a clip of this white woman who was speaking to a black man, okay? And she was telling him, listen, I know that when black men date white women, you guys see it as a badge of honor, but it's not the same way for us. And the black man in this video was so shocked because he's so used to living in his black infested atmosphere that he doesn't see how other communities see him and how other communities see certain things. So he's looking at it from a black man's perspective and he's thinking, oh, well, if I see white women as the prize, then white women have to see me as the prize. I completely disagree. And the white woman was literally like, listen, you may see us as the prize, but we don't see y'all as the prize. We see y'all as second place because we weren't good enough for the men in our own community. Most of the time when a white woman dates a black man, it's because she wasn't good enough for the men in her own community. So she just settled for a black man because she knew y'all was going to accept her with open arms anyways because she's not black. And that's all y'all require most of the time.
And
So let me play this clip for y'all. Hold up.
Experience and all the other white girls that I know, we don't think that getting attention from black guys gives you a status of some sort. If you get attention from the white guys, you do have the status more than if you get attention from black guys.
As a man, I'm going to have to respectfully disagree with that.
Well, as a woman who gets attention and who grew up in a white culture more than a black culture, I'm going to tell you that getting attention from black guys is not a badge of honor if you're white.
Okay.
And I'm white.
You are white.
Yes.
All right. No,
if a white girl gets attention from a white guy, that's more valuable in white culture than if she gets attention from a black guy. If she gets attention from a black guy, that doesn't make you a better anything. Like, that doesn't raise you in anybody's eyes. As a matter of fact,
in some people's eyes, it does.
As a matter of fact, it's a little bit of oh, you know, she's basically not good enough for the white, so she's good for the black guys.
Damn.
That's how it's looked at with white people.
I see it the opposite way.
So why am I showing you this, right? Because it has a lot to do with Jeannie Mai and Jeezy's marriage. Because let's keep in mind, Jeezy is the one that filed for divorce. And we almost never see men file for divorce, especially a black man. First of all, it takes black men a lot to just get married in the first place. So them getting divorced is like unheard of. Like, you barely ever see black men even try to get married. So getting divorced is also extra rare. All right. So for a black man to pull out those divorce papers and say we weren't seeing eye to eye and we had completely different views on certain things and he got a divorce, baby, he probably realized that Jeannie Mai likes black dick and not black people. And she didn't value him as a black person. And that's probably why he was like, I gotta dip. They probably had completely different views on how to raise their mixed black child. He probably had completely different ways of how he wanted to raise that child being a black man. And she had completely different ways of how she wanted to raise that child as a non-black woman. And he probably realized, like, damn, like, this was a girl who just fetishized me. She don't really fuck with black people like that. And then he dipped. So those are a lot of issues that a lot of couples run into when it's too late. Because they were so infatuated with each other and they were fetishizing each other to the point where they forgot that it was a fetish and not real love. And you know what? I'm proud of him because a lot of black men don't come to that realization. A lot of black men stay in Delulu land. They just like to stay delusional and live in that lie. So I pray for Jeezy. I pray for that child. And I hope Jeannie Mai heals and she learns something from this and learns that, girl, you can't be talking about black men like that, like they're a piece of meat or they're not human. Okay? Period.